All right, it happened. After decades and decades of Republicans promising to intend or get around to sooner or later, President Trump, an executive order that will abolish the Department of Education, and doing, well, it never should have been done in the first place. We did not need that Department of Education. It was a big bloated mess. It was extraneous, superfluous, unnecessary, unneeded, unwarranted, very, very voracious. That big, silly building sucking up so much money and not helping the children across the country.
So not only has Donald Trump abolished the education system, but he just posted this saying April 2nd is Liberation Day in America, which according to Grok right here is saying that it refers to his plans to roll out reciprocal tariffs, framing it as the day the US will reclaim economic power by matching tariffs imposed by other countries to liberate the US from unfair trade policies. And just 5 hours ago on Truth Social, he posted this, announcing that the United States of America will be putting what is known as a secondary tariff on the country of Venezuela, saying that they have sent tens of thousands of high-level criminals, murderers, gang members to the United States, and saying we're in the process of returning them to Venezuela, and it's a massive task. In addition, Venezuela has been very hostile to the United States. Therefore, any country that purchases oil or gas from Venezuela will be forced to pay a tariff of 25% to the United States on any trade they do with the country. And that tariff is going to take place April 2nd. And so this comes after Trump was saying he may give a lot of countries breaks on tariffs, and that would most likely be countries that give the United States breaks on tariffs, or countries that invest heavily into the United States. For example, he posted this on Truth Social saying U.S. investment pledges from the UAE of $1.4 trillion, Saudi Arabia, $600 billion. They have Hyundai, Apple, NVIDIA, OpenAI, SoftBank, Oracle, Johnson & Johnson, and a few other companies. For example, the UAE National Security Advisor committed to 10 years of $1.4 trillion investing in the U.S. economy, specifically in AI infrastructure, semiconductors, energy, and American manufacturing. And this is much bigger than a headline because this is a directional bet on the future of the USA. Trillions flowing into these sectors shows long-term conviction in America, innovation, and tech leadership. And what this means for crypto and why this matters for you is because AI and compute-focused infrastructure fuels blockchain scalability, and energy investment revives sustainable crypto narratives. Manufacturing expansion supports US-based mining and hardware, and institutional flows into innovation equals a stronger Web3 momentum, which is how a tech supercycle begins. So in this video, we're going to discuss what's happening in the crypto market, specifically for Ripple and XRP sitting at $2.46, what's happening on the Bitcoin to the US dollar price chart compared to M2, global liquidity being offset by about 107 days, and what this signals for the next move in the markets that will directly affect XRP. Plus, we're talking about XRP, the US dollar price chart, and looking for confluence compared to the past on the stochastic RSI, the relative strength index, the MACD on the weekly chart, and what Brad Garlinghouse has been saying now that Trump is in office, the lawsuit is over, and as we witness the entire US financial system being completely rewired, well, we have a very important document to uncover from the US Department of Justice about Ripple and XRP back from 2015, and a clip from Chris Larson talking about the future for Ripple, XRP, and even SWIFT and the correspondent banking system, and how SWIFT plans to enable a seamless payment experience for corporations around the globe, standardizing payments with the new ISO 222 standard, and what's happening July 14th with the Federal Reserve that we all need to be ready for. Because with the crypto market recovering over the past week, there is plenty of opportunity left this bull run to make a lot of money, but you have to act fast. Because with investments in the artificial intelligence sector, we have real-world assets primed to explode, and global liquidity increasing. With the Fed on the verge of lowering interest rates, this could lead to the perfect storm of opportunity. So, if you guys are feeling bullish, if you're feeling blessed, comment 777, and if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So quick update from Altcoin Pro University. For those of you guys that have asked us about our endless airdrop strategy, we just released an 11-step guide with full detailed videos and an entire masterclass that's an hour long on how you can benefit from these airdrops by taking advantage of very specific chains to basically get free money using key platforms for airdrop hunting like DeFi Llama, Crypto Rank, CoinGecko, Zapper, DBank, etc. with full guides alongside these videos that you can follow along with simply step by step. Now, the reason why this is important for you is because we have over 1,000 people right now inside of Altcoin Pro University benefiting from these airdrops. For example, this one right here, DeFi Mo was able to claim and got about $1,600. And the best part is it didn't cost him a dime, just some airdrop farming, which he would have done anyway. Also, this one right here was around $4,000 in time tokens. This one right here for the token hype airdrop, which was around 4,700 tokens, which was worth around 30,000 US dollars in free income there. And you can see this right here with the hash and the amount of hype tokens. If we just pull up the chart for hype right now, it's currently $17 at the price right now, even with the market pullback, but still we multiply 4,700 times by 17. That's nearly $80,000 worth of hype tokens right there. So this airdrop was done all the way back in November, guys, when we launched Altcoin Pro. And imagine at the peak when it was 35 bucks. That's about $164,000 in an airdrop, which is absolutely insane. Obviously, that's not a guarantee that you're going to make the same amount because this was the best airdrop that he personally received in our community. But if you guys want to learn how this is possible, all you need to do is click the link in the description below, join Altcoin Pro University. It's only 97 bucks. Pay as you go, no contract, no commitment. We have a 14-day money back guarantee. So if you don't get any results or if you're unhappy for whatever reason, just ask for a refund within your 14 days. You'll get 100% of your money back. So you have nothing to lose here. And in terms of what you could gain, again, I make no guarantees because it's not financial advice, but go into the classroom right here, scroll down. Not only can you go through all these other courses, we have like 140 plus expert curated classes and videos here, but click the endless airdrop strategy and go through all these new videos that just dropped here. I know you're going to love it because there's tons of ways to make money in crypto while XRP just consolidates sideways. I mean, over the past month, XRP is down 5%, and you could have learned about new DeFi strategies, new areas of crypto to be able to maximize your opportunity while minimizing your downside while we just range and consolidate here. So what I want to do is I want to get into the charts with you, specifically talking about Bitcoin and what's happening based on M2 global liquidity and what this means for XRP, looking at confluence to the past as well too. So global liquidity, M2, what that is a broad measure of money supply on a global scale, where M2 in traditional economics is a measure of the money supply that includes cash, check deposits, and easily convertible near money assets like savings accounts, money market securities, and small time deposits, typically under $100,000. And it is a key indicator of liquidity. So how much money is readily available in the economy for spending or investing. And if we talk about global liquidity, that is the most broad indicator that tells us how much liquidity is sloshing around in the system that could directly affect the crypto market. So for example, with this picture right here, it shows M2 in yellow and the price of Bitcoin in orange, and M2 is offset by 107 days. Because if we put up the M2 chart right here next to Bitcoin, we can see a discrepancy here where you can see right here on the 30th of September, M2 peaked out, whereas Bitcoin was finishing its final consolidation phase and then breaking out after that. So M2 moved before Bitcoin did, and then Bitcoin moved after that while M2 was pulling back. And so if we just offset this by 107 days, it lines up pretty closely with what Bitcoin is doing right now. And it shows that by the 30th of April, 2025, with the recent breakout in M2, could we see Bitcoin follow that? So number one, will Bitcoin continue to follow the mini rally that fails as pictured and then blast off later? This would validate the 107-day offset. Number two, or will Bitcoin blast off immediately? This would validate the 70-day offset. So regardless of which offset for global liquidity is right, the big picture is that a massive 2-month long M2 liquidity injection is coming our way. And it could go for longer if M2 keeps going up. That's mega bullish, because if the breakout from the 5th of August all the way up here to the 21st of January for the recent bull rally in Bitcoin was from this global liquidity injection from the 29th of June all the way to here to the 2nd of October, that's just a little delayed in the market, well then arguably this pullback from the 30th of September all the way to the 13th of January for M2 is what caused this pullback in the price of Bitcoin right here, and we're just lagging behind, which is what the offset is. So for example, at the top of the screen, from roughly the 17th of January, the 18th of January, to where we're at now, we've seen global liquidity break out, but yet we haven't seen Bitcoin in the rest of the market break out. And so if we see this offset from global liquidity to the crypto market come into effect, then could we see Bitcoin break out? Or is the crypto market now inversely correlated to global liquidity, which would be very strange? So what we're looking at right now with the recent pullback in the price of Bitcoin is very similar to this pullback right here, which is why a lot of people believe that rally from the 23rd of November in global liquidity to the beginning of December, right here where I'm circling on the chart, is what we're going through right now. We could technically experience a short-term pullback in the price of Bitcoin before working through this range, then inevitably breaking out like what we had to go through during this phase right here from 23rd of November to where we're currently at for M2. Because if I just clear the drawings on the chart right here, you guys can see for global liquidity, this was just simply a double bottom trend reversal where you can see bottom number one right here. You see the neckline right here by the end of November. You see bottom number two right here. We broke the neckline, back tested it as support, and then saw a trend reversal to the upside for global liquidity. So for Bitcoin, where would the neckline be? Well, the neckline simply put is roughly right around like 91-ish $1,000. And so we broke below the support, which is the neckline. We rallied back into it really quick with Trump announcing the strategic crypto reserve, Solana, XRP, ADA. Then we sold off. So this is technically bottom number two. Or if we want to consider the 12th of March, the first bottom in this rally right now into the neckline, what happened right here for global liquidity based on the offset? Well, then if we see it get rejected from roughly $91,000 and then do something like this for a second bottom, a lot of people would be very fearful at this point right here, calling for Bitcoin to drop even lower, similar to what happened around this stage in the market cycle right here in the middle of August, all the way until like October, where Bitcoin was hovering right around $25,000. I remember this like it was yesterday. So many people thought that Bitcoin was going to break below $25,000 and come back down to $20,000 when that's not what happened. It was just building a base, forming higher lows and higher highs until inevitably we broke out at the tail end of October in 2023. And so in my opinion, I think that's what's coming for the market for Bitcoin. I think this rally may be a failed rally and we'll come back down for a double bottom, which could be a higher low. But I think we're just going to work our way through this range right here, inevitably break out for a trend reversal to the upside to form new highs for Bitcoin leading into Q3 and Q4 of this year. It's just going to take some time to play out. Because in the recent FOMC speech, Jerome Powell talked about tapering off their quantitative tightening and not steeply selling off of their balance sheet. And he also discussed inflation coming down, which would be another signal for them to lower interest rates. And if we couple this with the charts to look for any confluence here for what XRP is going through compared to what it went through in the past, it reminds me of what happened, like I've shown you guys a few times, from May of 2017 until December of 2017. If we bring up these three key indicators here, we see some similarities. For example, when XRP pulled back from 40 cents all the way down here to 13 cents, we saw the stochastic RSI pull back as well too, well below 20 and stay below 20 until roughly the 28th of August. And if we look on the left-hand side of the screen, we see the pullback from all the way up here from $3 and nearly 40 cents all the way down here to about $1.79, rally back up, then sell off back again to $2.60. We can see the stochastic RSI come all the way down here below 20 as well too. And if we look at the relative strength index, the RSI peaked out up here at 93 with that first rally for XRP. And on the right-hand side of the screen, the RSI peaked out at 93 for that rally, upwards of 40 cents for XRP as well too. And it pulled back with that sell-off right down to roughly 48. And during that whole consolidation period, XRP stayed above 50 on the right-hand side of the screen right here, which is a great sign during a bull market. And we're just doing the same thing on the left-hand side of the screen. The RSI pulled back and it dipped down to 53. We're currently at 57. So in my opinion, as long as we stay above 50 while we consolidate sideways for a bit with Bitcoin, that's a good sign for XRP. Now, the conflicting indicator that we can see here that shows us the opposite of what happened on the stochastic RSI, because as you guys know, anytime we're below 20 on the stochastic RSI for the K line, the D line, it signals that we are in oversold conditions. But anytime we are well above the zero line, forming a bearish cross, it signals that momentum has shifted from bullish over to bearish. So on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, we can see the MACD recently formed a bearish cross at the beginning of the month on the 3rd of March. Now look on the right-hand side of the screen. We saw the exact same thing happen on the 10th of July of 2017 when the stochastic RSI was falling below 20, the MACD was forming a bearish cross, while XRP's price had already bottomed out at 13 cents. So while the MACD was slowly dropping here, the RSI was holding a support above 50. The stochastic RSI had already bottomed out and went sideways. We experienced a bullish cross on roughly the 14th of August of 2017, for this higher low right here. And then XRP just simply coiled up between resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, forming higher lows, and resistance at roughly 29.30 cents right here before breaking out on the 11th of December. The MACD formed a bullish cross above zero, blasted off to the upside. The RSI broke out from 56, coming all the way upwards of 96 on the next breakout, and the stochastic RSI formed a bullish cross and blasted to the upside well above 80. And so we just have to look for confluence here. So on the left-hand side of the screen, the K line is at 12, the D line is at 9. We experienced a bullish cross. It's not confirmed unless we pass above 20. The RSI is currently in a downtrend right now, but holding above 50. And the MACD experienced a bearish cross, which tells me we're about to go through something similar that we went through roughly right around here during that 2017 summer. And as you guys know, XRP does follow Bitcoin and also liquidity. So if we see Bitcoin get rejected from this neckline right here, roughly $91,000 of resistance, and come back down for a double bottom, well, what I would expect to happen for XRP is for XRP to pull back as well too, similar to what we saw right here when XRP bounced from 12 cents to 20 cents and then pull back just for a higher low right here than the low of the 10th of July. Before bouncing off of 15 cents to 30 cents and then just coiling up right here, forming higher lows. That's what I would expect for XRP. So I would just want to see XRP form higher lows over the next few weeks. Even if we see a sell-off right now, it's not the end of the world. If XRP holds above $2.70, I would just expect this to coil up and do something like this. Because the stochastic RSI is oversold, yes, the MACD did experience a bearish cross, but it's no different than the bottom right-hand side of the screen of what we went through right here with this bearish cross. A longer consolidation phase for XRP of higher lows, even an equal high right here, would just give time for the MACD to reset a little bit further because we just experienced this bearish cross. And also, the stochastic RSI is in oversold conditions. Where I'd be a little concerned here for XRP is if we were all the way up here for the stochastic RSI above 80, the MACD was experiencing a bearish cross, and the relative strength index was above 70 as well too. But we're not seeing that right now. We're seeing the stochastic all the way down here, very similar to where we were all the way back here on the right-hand side of the screen. The relative strength index is at 57, very similar to where we were right here on the right-hand side of the screen. And even though the MACD is just barely into this bearish cross, we saw the exact same thing happen between the 10th of July all the way until the 4th of December, with the MACD dropping while XRP was forming higher lows. So I think this is just going to be a long consolidation pattern, potentially a symmetrical triangle for XRP to coil up here until the Fed drops interest rates and starts easing again and adding to their balance sheet for the next breakout for XRP, which I covered in a previous video. That would be the perfect storm of opportunity, in my opinion. So this is what I'm expecting next for Bitcoin. So when you see the markets pull back over the next few weeks and sell off for Bitcoin, and it comes back down to $80,000, don't be shocked, because this would just simply be based on the 107-day offset from global M2 money supply. So this is actually good news if we experience a pullback, because this gives you more time to accumulate that dip. Now, there are opportunities that you guys can leverage. For example, we had one opportunity we shared with over 322 businesses the past few months. 242 of them were approved that processed $387 million in credit card volume over the course of 15 years, and they're qualified to receive back up to $5.8 million from the government. But that's expired, so you can't benefit from that. But there is a new government program that costs you no money out of pocket that you can benefit from if you have a business. Listen to this.
April 15th, 2025. This is a huge date because it's the deadline for 2 high-paying tax credits that you probably haven't heard about, but you can still get if you take action right now. We've partnered with the relief consultants who are experts in the tax code who've recovered over $100 million for their clients so far. So if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, listen up so we can get you help and reach our goal of recovering $10 million for the Bull Runners community before the April 15th deadline. So here's how it works. If you're a business owner who had employees in 2021, then you qualify for an average $150,000 check from the Treasury and possibly more with the Employee Retention Credit Program. So if you were told in the past that you don't qualify, get a second opinion now through the link in the description below this video, because there are rules and regulations that have changed just recently. So there's a high likelihood that you do qualify now. And if you sold your business or you shut it down, you still qualify as long as you were active in 2021. So don't miss out. Schedule an appointment with the link below. Just click business owner with employees if it applies to you. There's also a second tax credit that also ends April 15th. So this is for the bull runners who are self-employed in 2021. So if you were a 1099, not W-2, and self-employment was your primary income, the treasury check for this tax credit can go up to $32,220 with an average of $17,000. So if you were self-employed in 2021 and want to see if you haven't claimed this credit, which nobody has from our community thus far for some strange reason. We've been talking about this in several videos. I don't know, man. Maybe you just want the treasury to keep your money. But if you want to get money back in your pocket, then schedule a consultation. Don't be lazy. Do this right now before April 15th through the link below. Just click self-employed if you think you qualify for both credits. Let the rep know on the call. And by the way, if you have your tax returns from 2020 and 2021 for this credit, it will be a faster turnaround for you. So have them ready on your call, and they can literally tell you if you qualify on your first call to get you paid. So if you need more money back in your pocket for this bull run, take action right now, click the link, and let's get you paid.
So like I just mentioned, our goal is to help the bull runners community get back up to $10 million before the April deadline. So take advantage of that, because we're seeing the Department of Government Efficiency tap into all of the inefficiencies that the previous administration caused to uncover so much money. And a lot of that belongs to you. So we're about to see things speed up from an efficiency standpoint. And even Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, just 6 weeks after Trump was elected, is saying this.
So when you're looking at the growth story then of Ripple, does it still come from overseas? Or are you expecting a change in terms of domestic interest in Ripple?
Well, we're definitely already seeing a change in the domestic interest. These 6 weeks after President Trump was elected, we signed more deals in the United States than we had in the previous 6 months. So these are very innovative technologies. I think they're going to play out over 10, even 20 years in terms of how they integrate and rewire the financial infrastructure of the United States. That's across payments. That's across even the settlement of maybe real estate transactions, securities transactions. So I think we're going to see this play out over a long arc. But the United States is finally unlocked, and I think people are underestimating how big that change is, and you'll see that continue to play out this year.
So the rewiring of the entire U.S. financial system is going to happen faster and faster and faster. And Garlinghouse also announced that major banks will integrate XRP because the SEC has just stonewalled Ripple in this multi-trillion-dollar payments market for the past 4 years. And now the dog's let loose, the dog's off the chain, and now it's time for Ripple to run.
The U.S. market has been kind of frozen in terms of financial institutions leaning in. And just in the last few weeks, you're starting to see, the ice is thawing, customers are engaging. I'm thinking more on the payment side now. But look, this is where maybe things have gone more slowly than I would have predicted. The payments market is still ripe for change and evolution. And I'm super optimistic about how that's going to play out. It is a multi-trillion-dollar market. It's amazing to me how broken it still is, as my own personal example I referenced earlier. But look, there's so many examples you can point to where you're just like, how is it that we still do it this way? But yet we haven't made that much progress. And so that to me is why one of the many tailwinds which will continue to fuel the crypto market at large.
Check this out, guys. Did you know that the federal government had already sued and settled with Ripple back in May 5th of 2015, declaring XRP a virtual currency right here from the U.S. Department of Justice? The United States Attorney, Northern District of California, in this settlement agreement says the government will not criminally prosecute Ripple Labs and any and all subsidiaries of Ripple Labs, Inc. for any of the conduct described in the statement of facts attached as Attachment A. The government entered into a settlement agreement saying that Ripple Labs facilitated transfers of virtual currencies and provided virtual currency exchange transaction services. The currency of the Ripple network, known as XRP, was pre-mined. In other words, unlike some other virtual currencies, XRP was fully generated prior to its distribution. And back in 2015, XRP was the second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization after Bitcoin. It wasn't until the SEC decided to file another lawsuit against Ripple, pushing XRP down the list. And XRP was like at number 5, 6, 7 during the whole lawsuit. And sure enough, now they're back at number 2 behind Ethereum. Even though it's number 3, Bitcoin's not an altcoin. The only other altcoin that XRP is lagging behind is Ethereum. So, in my opinion, XRP will pass Ethereum. It's only a matter of time. It's behind it by about $100 million. That's under 2x from right here. That's definitely possible for XRP to pass Ethereum, especially with how poor Ethereum's been performing this bull run thus far. And what would cause that to happen? Well, other than M2 global liquidity injection, check this out. Ripple developed an application called RippleNet that does two key things. Number one, it replaces outdated systems like SWIFT and correspondent banking, which are the reason that cross-border payments remain slow and inefficient, like Brad Garlinghouse talks about. Number two, it leverages XRP through their on-demand liquidity service to streamline transactions.
Yeah, so our view is that these digital assets really become supplemental to the existing family of currencies, right? So every country still needs its own, fiat currency for all kinds of reasons that I won't get into. It's very complicated, right? And I actually think that the big four, the yen, the euro, the dollar, the RMB, they actually, I think, come stronger in this world that we're going into, partially because of digital assets.
Okay.
That these digital assets actually contribute to a world that's more interoperable, where more people around the globe can get access to these big four. And most of global commerce is done in the big four. So I think you have a bifurcation going on. Those big four get stronger. I think some of the smaller currencies, maybe even some of the more of the very small fiat currencies, become less relevant, maybe even disappear. A country could have its own fiat, but still use one of the big four. You have lots of
like
examples.
Montenegro, right?
Absolutely. But I think then where the digital assets fit in, like things like XRP and Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're kind of in that mid-range. They become, I think, like the Singapore dollar or the Swiss franc, and they become useful in kind of lubricating the world to make it easier for those big four to get in the hands of people all around the world. So that's useful. And then it might also be things like applications and devices that maybe primarily use one of those digital assets. So that's kind of the view we have. So I think in that world, countries should be less threatened by what's going on.
So number one, users fund their accounts at digital asset exchanges. Number two, Ripple funds the sending institution's XRP wallet with a predetermined amount of XRP. Number three, in order for Ripple to pre-fund the XRP, client signs what's called a commit to sell agreement to permit them to hold XRP right here under Ripple's official documents underneath account funding flow, permitting them to hold XRP, but it's owned by Ripple. So what this does is eliminates pre-funded Nostro and Vostro accounts, which enables fast, low-cost cross-border payments using XRP. And this is why Ripple has partnered with so many banks, and we've uncovered these documents over the past few years. So this isn't just a theory, guys. This is happening in real time. For example, Ripple partnered with SBI Holdings along with 7 central banks. We got the Bank of France, Bank of Japan, Bank of Korea, Bank of Mexico, Swiss National Bank, Bank of England, Federal Reserve Bank of New York, and the Institute of International Finance, all announcing their involvement in Project Agora, a collaborative effort spearheaded by the Bank for International Settlements. And Project Agora simply means marketplace in Greece, aiming to enhance cross-border transactions by integrating tokenized central bank money, private bank deposits through a flexible public-private financial platform. And also SBI Ripple Asia, right here, released this document, which we then translated to this, saying that they are participating in Project Agora back in September 19th of 2024. Now, as you guys know, the CEO of SBI Holdings says every bank in Japan will use XRP in 2025. And SBI Ripple Asia, a joint venture between Ripple and SBI Holdings, aims to create the Internet of Value across Japan and Asia by combining both companies' expertise. Through RippleNet, participants can easily connect with financial institutions via a single API to instantly and reliably transfer money to over 40 currencies in more than 70 countries. And SBI Ripple Asia is providing this service to banks and money transfer operators in Japan, South Korea, and parts of Southeast Asia. So this is how I think XRP passes Ethereum. Also, the same day that the lawsuit was dropped, SWIFT released this that I covered in a previous video, saying how they're enabling the seamless payments experience for corporations around the globe. And in the document, they talked about standardizing payments with ISO 20022 to enable cross-border transactions. So we've known this for years, but it was just strange that they published this the day after. It wasn't the same day, but it was the day after the SEC dropped their appeal in the Ripple case. So the article doesn't go into specifics about the coins, like they never do. They never tell you their plan in plain English here. This is why we have to connect the dots for you guys. It's one big puzzle here, but we've received some major clues from insiders. For example, if you have not seen this video yet, you need to listen to this. If you've seen this video, you need to listen to it again, because XRP will eventually act as a currency on the SWIFT messaging system when ISO 20022 is live globally.
There's a discussion surrounding crypto replacing SWIFT. So we did speak earlier where you mentioned that it's not necessarily about replacing SWIFT, it's about complementing it. So let's get some more information on this.
Okay. I used to work for SWIFT. I was SWIFT for 20 years, so SWIFT is flowing through my veins. SWIFT is the preeminent messaging system for the financial industry, which covers, say, payments, FX, trade, in terms of securities, etc., NOSTA reconciliations, etc. What we're looking with the crypto, though, is where SWIFT would have a store and forward system for most of its payment transactions, where you need service level agreements that in a certain time I will do something, but payment turns up at a certain time during the day. Here we're looking at the new network styles, which allow instant, real-time movement of the funds and visibility of those funds as well. So we would not have a situation where banks need to come back to you and say, have my funds arrived? It's 3 days later. I need to find out or find query messages moving around the network. There's nothing like that. I don't believe Ripple is going to replace SWIFT. Ripple is one of the complementary networks, which is going to allow those institutions who need real time to make use of that. And I think we're also seeing that SWIFT are changing their network capability so that real time will be a possibility as well. But we may also see Ripple XRP moving across the SWIFT network as a currency when we're perhaps using something like FX.
Now, on March 10th, the Federal Reserve was supposed to sunset in a single day implementation their existing FedWire application interface manual format and replace it with the ISO 222 messaging standard, but they pushed this back to July 14th. So in my opinion, this just gives me further confluence. The XRP is just going to coil up throughout this summer and do virtually nothing, pissing everybody off because they still need more time to implement ISO 222. So by July 14th, FedWire Fund Service is going to announce this. If they don't just push it back again, well, then that gives us plenty of time to back up our truck all the way to the bank, grab the bags, pack them and stack them, leave no bags left behind because the spending power of the dollar is just going to continue to go down in value based on inflation, monetary print orders of global liquidity increases that devalues the dollar even more. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies have been going up in value over time. That's the truth. And together, we're all running to the top. If you guys want to see what opportunities have the biggest potential the rest of this bull run, that way you can capitalize on them to make the most amount of money possible while XRP consolidates sideways, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1, 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap or 16 cents back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below. Get in right now. Watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first
millionaire in your family tree, if that's a goal of yours. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.